Improvised scenes are some of the most memorable moments in cinematic history. When an actor can think of something so iconic on the spot, it becomes the stuff of legend. But what about when the resulting improvisation results in someone on set breaking character? Well, that has happened before, often resulting in fits of laughter or confusion captured on camera. Before we get started, make sure you take a quick moment to click on that subscribe button. You'll join our notification squad and stay up to date with all of these types of videos and more. One more thing, can you guess what feature film these emojis are showing? Find out at the end of this video. Alright, let's get started. Action.
I only have one question. Where is Harvey Dent?
The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger. Christopher Nolan's 2008 The Dark Knight will forever be studied, analyzed, and revered for its glorious perfection and revitalization to the Batman franchise. There isn't much fans don't know about this film and what went into its creation. One of those things just might be how much of the film was actually improvised. Heath Ledger's infamous portrayal of the Joker was cause for most of the improvised moments, from the scene where the Joker starts clapping randomly in the jail scene to him fiddling with the detonator during the hospital explosion. But what if luckily Ledger stayed in character when Maggie broke character and it worked perfectly.
My swaggerless friend here, he really likes that shirt you have on.
Not entirely sure that this shirt would fit your friend.
It'll fit.
Fast and Furious 6, Dwayne Johnson. As with every release in the Fast and Furious franchise, the sixth installment is filled with bullet-flying showdowns, criminal masterminds bent on destruction, insane out-of-this-world car chase scenes, and wrecks, and so much more. So much action, death, and high-impact adrenaline camera work, there's definitely a need for some comedic relief.
That could have been my forehead, man.
Nah, that's not as big as your forehead.
Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, and Dwayne Johnson come into play. The reprisal of these hysterical characters brings the perfect amount of laughter with their stellar improv skills. In this moment, Hobbs, played by Dwayne, charges in the backyard to talk with Roman, played by Tyrese. Roman sees Hobbs and yells out to Mia,
You better hide your baby, or I'm just playing.
You better hide that big-ass forehead.
I was just joking. Whatever.
Dwayne completely ad-libbed the line, trying to break their characters, and succeeded. It ended up making it into the final cut of the movie because of the obvious hilarity. This is not the first improvised moment, and won't be the last. The entire cast and crew believe the film is never complete without some back-and-forth improv banter.
Good evening. This is the weekend edition of WBC News at 6:30. I'm Ron Burgundy.
And I'm Veronica Corningstone.
Anchorman 2, Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is a comedic legend. He's revered throughout the industry and emulated by others constantly. His out-of-this-world, controlled, bonkers persona causes unstoppable hilarity to ensue with viewers. He first started comedy learning improv at the Groundlings Improv School in Los Angeles, California. So it's only natural that a lot of what he does on camera is improvised. And when you have a film which is mainly improvised, there are sure to be moments where actors playing alongside him will break character.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Such as in the beginning scene of Anchorman 2. Will begins to warm up his voice in preparation for giving the news on live TV. His co-anchor, played by Christina Applegate, sits next to him and does her own preparations. But Ferrell's absurd warming up practices becomes too much for Christina to handle, and her character would break out in laughter every time.
Grab the children! Save the children!
Her character is not supposed to smile at this, as it's a regular routine, and she should be used to it, but she just can't help herself. They tried several takes, and the one which ended up being in the film was the best one.
Grab the children! Save the children!
Even then, you can see her face holding back a smile and smirks the whole way through.
I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego.
Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan was one heck of a serious film, full of sadness, despair, and yes, hope. The opening beach scene is considered by many to be the most accurate depiction of war on film, and we're inclined to believe that scene was intense. But where in this powerful World War II epic is there room for improvised scenes that got a reaction out of the cast? The answer to that comes toward the end of the film, before the final battle plays out. The team, led by Tom Hanks' Captain Miller, has finally found the missing Private Ryan, and are held up in a small French village. With the Germans hot on their tails, the team prepares, and then takes a moment to just relax, something they seriously needed. During this scene, Matt Damon's Private Ryan tells them a story of home and of his brothers, all of whom have died on D-Day. The scene in question is about a girl, brotherly love, and burning down a barn. It's a lengthy scene, and it's entirely improvised.
At the same time, he picks up a shovel, and he's going after Sean. And Sean's saying, what are you trying to hit me for? I just did you a favor.
But his and Tom Hanks' laughter over Damon's deceptions of the girl in question were also completely genuine, and gave the film a much-needed moment of levity before things got serious again.
People say I talk too much.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you to shut up.
The Usual Suspects. Whether you've seen The Usual Suspects or not, you're more than likely familiar with the famous lineup scene. It's on all the covers and posters for the film, and it's also the image for director Bryan Singer's production company. So many of his X-Men films open up with that image. So what makes this scene so memorable in a film full of twists and turns? Well, for one, the scene was supposed to be entirely serious. After 5 criminals get arrested on suspicion of a truck hijacking job, they find themselves in the lineup waiting to be identified by someone behind the glass. The actors kept delivering the lines in a serious manner.
Hand me the keys, you sucker.
Until Bryan Singer said, "Forget it," and unleashed the actors. Screenwriter Christopher McQuarrie of Mission Impossible fame is actually the cop reading out the lines, and the bizarre actions and ensuing laughter is all off-book. Gabrielle Byrne, who played Keaton, actually ended up, how should we say it, releasing gas during the scene, which caused further laughter on camera, while Benicio del Toro ended up showing signs of frustration, and Stephen Baldwin's unhinged line delivery made this scene instantly iconic.
Knock it off, get back.
The little idiosyncrasies that only I knew about. That's what made her my wife.
Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting was a huge success, both financially and critically. It garnered over $225 million against a budget of $10 million, and won 2 of its 9 Oscar nominations, one for Robin Williams for Best Actor, and another for Best Screenplay, which Ben Affleck and Matt Damon picked up. Not a bad list of achievements, but despite how well the film did, everyone seems to remember one thing when it comes to the film. The late, great Robin Williams was considered to be a master of improvisation. In almost every film he worked on, he was able to let loose and create memorable moments on screen. Everything from Aladdin to Good Morning Vietnam were full of iconic moments that weren't in the script.
Rockman, haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some tassel. Ha! Yo, yo.
Good Will Hunting is no exception. In the funniest scene in the film, Williams' character, Sean Maguire, is psychoanalyzing Will Hunting, and the two characters end up just talking.
My wife used to fart when she was nervous. She had all sorts of wonderful little idiosyncrasies. You know, she used to fart in her sleep.
Damon was so taken aback from this random comment that he ended up bursting into hysterics on camera. Williams, obviously enjoying himself, also ended up laughing through his story.
Mary, I'm warning you, okay? I'm gonna have to get physical. I mean it. This is it. I'm gonna...
Shaun of the Dead. Baby Driver was the surprise smash hit of 2017, being a huge financial success and a massive critical one at the same time. The film was all about style, but it wasn't as funny as director Edgar Wright's earlier films. For that, you have to go back to the cult classic, Shaun of the Dead. The buddy rom-com set during the zombie apocalypse starred Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, in roles that would make them instant stars. Of course, in a film like this, there are plenty of moments to flex your improvisation skills, and that's exactly what Nick Frost did during the film. To cheer Shaun up, who had recently broken up with his girlfriend, Nick starts telling fabled tales of some of the patrons at their local pub. He informs Shaun that an elderly lady in fact used to be an adult actress.
Suicidal maniac.
And Simon Pegg's reaction to this tale is entirely genuine. Pegg can't keep it together and breaks out into a fit of laughter, which of course fit the scene perfectly and made it to the final cut. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Skis, huh?
That's right.
Great. They're yours?
Dumb and Dumber. You just knew that with a list like this, a film like Dumb and Dumber was gonna be on it. How could it not, with the likes of Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels spewing nonsense for the entire runtime? But despite all the jokes, gags, and improvised moments in the film, neither lead were the ones to break character due to their antics. The dynamic duo star as Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn, two friends with an incredibly low intelligence, but kind-hearted nonetheless. They embark on a road trip to Aspen, Colorado to give a forgotten briefcase back to its owner. But of course, a simple task will end up causing them lots of problems as they're chased across the country. While driving along, they spot a hitchhiker and end up offering him a lift. But the duo just can't play it cool for long. Quickly, the pair starts arguing with the hitchhiker sitting in between them. Actor Harland Williams wasn't prepared for the level of annoying he was getting himself into. You can visibly see him getting frustrated before snapping and screaming at the two characters.
Lloyd! You guys! Enough!
Only, he was actually screaming at Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, for real. The leads were silent for only a few moments before Jim Carrey unleashed the most annoying sound in the world. Guys! Poor guy. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. When it comes to fantasy epics, The Lord of the Rings will no doubt go down as one of the best ever made. Offering plenty of action, adventure, drama, and huge battles, Lord of the Rings had something for everyone, which is probably why it did so well at the box office and at the Oscars. Everyone wins. Well, except Viggo Mortensen, that is. In the second entry of the series, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are chasing down a pack of Uruks that have taken their hobbit friends captive. Hot on their trail, they run non-stop, only to learn that the Uruks in question were killed in the night by the Riders of Rohan, led by none other than Carl Urban. Believing their friends to be dead, the trio investigate the carnage. Furious and distraught when Gimli discovers a hobbit belt, Aragorn kicks one of the armored helmets. Not a good idea. That scream, that was not scripted. As it turns out, Viggo kicked it so hard that he actually broke his toe, causing him to react in a manner that's both bone-chilling and appropriate for the scene. Thankfully, his reaction was deemed perfect for the scene, and Viggo's reaction to his injury actually made the final cut of the film. That's it for today, everyone.
Great. So what are we supposed to do now?
Which was your favorite improvised moment where an actor broke character? What improvised moment would you have picked instead? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to share and like this video, and click that subscribe button to join our notification squad so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. You don't want your friends to know more about this stuff than you do. Here is the answer for the emoji before we forget. Did you get it? Let us know. Thanks for watching.